Hey, third graders, Mr. Powell coming at you, having a great day. Hope you are too. I am with you today to read a book called A Friend for Lakota. So I can get that close enough for you. Now, we know that wolves travel in packs, and they're actually bosses. Some wolves are bosses of the packs. And I don't know if you knew, but sometimes wolves pick on and bully other wolves. So when I read this book, we'll think about wolves, but we may also be thinking about people too. And again, this is called A Friend for Lakota, the incredible true story of a wolf who braved bullying by Jim and Jamie Dutcher. Jim and Jamie Dutcher actually got to know the wolves in this book. This is real. And I'm going to read a little bit about them right now. Not many people can say they've lived with wolves, but for 6 years in a tented camp deep in the Sawtooth Mountains of Idaho, USA, that's just what we did. We adopted the Sawtooth Pack as pups and created a 25-acre home in a wild setting with plenty of room for them to roam. The wolves bonded with us, and as practical and scientific as we tried to be, we bonded with them. This connection enabled us to study and share intimate, never-before-seen wolf behavior with the world. With the Sawtooth Pack, it became our mission to show people that these endangered creatures were not only important to our natural world, but also intelligent, social animals, wholly devoted to one another, just like a family. So I wonder if any of you guys would like to live in a pack of wolves. What could you learn from them? Let's see. Spring blooms over the Sawtooth Mountains of Idaho. Wildflowers splash patches of bright colors across the meadows, and a young wolf pup, Lakota, rolls in the fresh green grass. Lakota spends all day playing. He turns every rock, log, and stick into a toy. His days are simple and fun, but in a wolf's world, things can change quickly. Every day, Lakota also roams the forest and meadows with his brother, Comotes. The two wolves look alike, but their paws pad down different paths. Comotes fearlessly explores the forest. Lakota timidly follows. Comotes investigates every noise. Lakota shrinks back from strange sounds. Lakota is shy and gentle, while brave Comotes shows the promise of a great leader. So how did the author describe Comotes and Lakota? What words did they use? A little hint that sometimes these words are used to describe people too. Soon the first snowflakes fall over the mountains, covering the wolves' world in a thick white blanket. Lakota and Comotes grow. Their lean legs stretch tall, and their fur coats thicken to keep them warm in the freezing air. As winter melts into spring, 3 new wolves join the brothers. Now, instead of just 2, they are a family of 5. They are now a wolf pack. Every member of Lakota's pack has a job to do. Comotes quickly rises to be a strong leader. Amani causes trouble, while Matsi keeps the peace. Suddenly, Comotes lifts his head and lets out a long "Ow!" The rest of the pack gathers around him and joins in, their howls a chorus echoing in the mountains. By the following winter, Lakota too settles into his position in the family. Gentle Lakota never challenges the other wolves. His job is to help everyone play, to get along. Easy to do when all the wolves seem to be in a good mood. But one snowy day, as pack members chase one another, something happens. The wolves suddenly heap on top of Lakota. They snarl in his face. Lakota whimpers and drops to the ground as low as he can go, waiting timidly for the pile of wolves to retreat. Just a few days later, it happens again, and then again. Before long, Lakota is being picked on all the time. One wolf nips at his tail, another jumps on him, another pulls on his fur. Matsi doesn't join the other wolves. He doesn't jump on Lakota, but he never pulls on his fur. He watches. So, does this wolf pack remind you of any friend groups that you know? A lot of times, one friend's the leader, another one is maybe a kind of a troublemaker, another one is one who thinks up games for everybody to play. Which one of those do you think Lakota is? And Matsi seems to be different from the other wolves in the pack. What do we think he's going to do? One day, Amani confronts Lakota in full view of the others. He growls deeply. Then he charges. Lakota drops to the ground and, trembling, tries to crawl away. But all of a sudden, in a whirl of fur, Matsi jumps between Amani and Lakota, letting out a loud snarl. Amani skids to a stop and backs off. There will be no picking on Lakota today. Is that what you thought Matsi would do? We'll see. Soon Matsi and Lakota become the best of friends. In summer they play tag and roll in the long grass. In fall they race through the aspen leaves that float down from the trees. In winter they pounce on a stream's newly formed ice to hear it pop and crack under their feet. The other wolves don't bother Lakota when he's with Matsi. Matsi won't allow it. What can you tell about these two wolves from the photos? Look at them. What do we think about the wolves by looking at these photos? Sometimes Matsi and Lakota wander off, away from the others. With just his friend, Lakota can finally run, jump, and chase, like all wolves do. Lakota jumps on Matsi's back, his tail happily wagging back and forth. He whines at Matsi, inviting him to play, and Matsi always plays back. He seems to know this is what his friend needs. As Lakota grows older and new pups join the pack, his confidence seems to soar. In time, the other wolves leave him alone. They stop picking on him. Lakota and Matsi stay best friends. Still, Lakota never seems to forget his past. He was once at the bottom of the pile, but there was the friendship that Matsi gave him when no one else would. Sometimes the other wolves pick on the young ones, but Lakota never does. So, why do we think that at the very end, the author included that little line about sometimes wolves get picked on, other wolves pick on the young ones, but Lakota never does? Why do we think Lakota never does? So this is a non-fiction book written as a story. It tells a true story about something that happened in real life, and it tells it in the time and the order in which it happened. So I want you to discuss with your groups what fictional animal stories you've read. There's a whole lot of those. And in what ways is A Friend for Lakota like one of those fictional animal stories that you may have read? I also want you to think about in what ways wolves in the pack are like humans. And in what ways are they different? And finally, what do you think the author's message was about wolves. And do they show any messages about how humans should behave? So I'm going to leave it to your teachers now. I hope you enjoyed the book, A Friend for Lakota. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in person real soon. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Peace.